Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Wednesday, June 20th, 2018. I'm Fredicia Liebert. Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mark Brantley, is urging taxpayers who are in arrears to take advantage of property tax amnesty that is being offered by the Inland Revenue Department during the month of June 2018. The property tax amnesty is an effort by the Inland Revenue Department and the government to have taxpayers regularize their status.
The idea behind it is to allow taxpayers who have become delinquent on their property taxes to come in and speak to the officials at the Inland Revenue Department and get their status regularized. Now let's be clear, this is not a waiver of the actual tax that's due. What it is a waiver of are the interest and penalties that, as we all know, can exacerbate the tax bill and escalate it to a high degree. So we're asking taxpayers to be responsible. This is an opportunity for them to alleviate their own difficulties in terms of any penalties and interest charges. And we're asking them please to come in during the working hours of the Inland Revenue Department between June 1st and June 30th and benefit from this tax amnesty.
According to Premier Brantley, a meeting with the Inland Revenue Department revealed that property taxes have been generally underperforming.
People have not been paying their property taxes. As a result, the penalties and the interest goes on, and that exacerbates the amount that people owe very quickly. And so our thinking was that if we were to offer people an amnesty, allow them an opportunity to come in and regularize their position, that it would augur much better for our tax collections. And this amnesty has shown that it has worked in other jurisdictions. So this is something that we are attempting, and we are asking the public to really respond. It is in their interests, because certainly if they don't pay, then the amounts that they'll owe will continue to increase. And then if they have to sell or somehow deal with their property, then of course that creates tremendous difficulties for them.
Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mark Brantley. The Nevis Island Administration's Ministry of Human Resources is informing that the government of Malaysia, through the Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program, is offering scholarship opportunities for applicants to study master's or PhD degrees. The scholarships will fund expenses including tuition, accommodation, annual grant for books, and travel and meals. Courses include science and engineering, agriculture and fisheries, information and communication technology, biotechnology, biosecurity and food safety, infrastructure and utility, environmental studies, and health. The application deadline is Monday, June 25th, 2018. Monday, June 25th, 2018 is also the deadline for applications for courses in commercialization, ecosystem, and entrepreneurship. Applicants who have to meet the June 25th deadline are advised to deliver their applications directly to Jamila Adams at the Human Resources Office on St. Kitts. For the Epidemiological Intelligence and Management Program, applications must be received by the NIA's Ministry of Human Resources by July 13, 2018. For detailed course information, selection criteria, application forms, and other guidelines, contact Training Officer Shanola Murray-Gill at the NIA's Ministry of Human Resources at 469-5521 extension 5163 or 5164, or email shanola.murraygill@niagov.com. The second edition of the Starkey Hearing Foundation's screening took place on Monday, June 18th at the Occasions Entertainment Center.
We're here in Nevis today, blessed with the good support of the ministry. We can't do much alone. Together we can change the world. So working together is the answer. People helping people is the answer. People killing people is a really bad idea. This is a good one. So we are trying to do the best we can to lift up our fellow neighbors and our family here in Nevis, and I feel more complete when I have a chance to visit each part of my extended family around the world. So this is a place I must come.
Founder of Starkey Hearing Foundation, Bill Austin, was in the presence of Senior Minister in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, who spoke on behalf of the NIA.
On behalf of the Nevis Island Administration and all of us here in Nevis, to say a very special thank you to Mr. Austin and your team for coming back to Nevis for a second time. We know that you were here last year and you would have done quite a bit of work, and we are delighted as an administration and as a nation to have you back for a second time. We know that you're doing this. This is a very humanitarian effort. We admire the work that you're doing. We love this initiative. It is an initiative that is fully endorsed by the Ministry of Health and the Nevis Island Administration and all of us in Nevis, and we are so delighted to have you again. We are happy to have your partner with the Nevis Island Administration. Of course, we are trying as much as possible to promote health, and proper hearing is a part of overall health. And so we welcome this initiative. The persons on Nevis who would have had the support from you last year, we want to thank you very much, and we want to thank you in advance for those who will receive the support for 2018.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Nicola Slack-Liebert, gave details about the screenings.
We would have had over 40 persons fitted last year in 2017, and we look forward to even more being fitted, well, screened and fitted if necessary this year. This is one of the initiatives of the Public Health Department. As some of you may know, we have various programs, and we're happy to add hearing as one of our more recent programs. We do have an eye program and several other programs, and so we're happy to introduce this one. It's in its infancy, and we look forward to its continued growth. We want to thank Starkey Foundation not only for being here, but also building capacity in country. Several of our nurses have been trained and are able to assist and run this program. We would have had some preliminary screening in the months of May and June, which was facilitated by our nurses. So we thank you once again for also building capacity here.
A number of persons on the island were screened by a number of local nurses who were trained in the screening, as well as employees of the Starkey Hearing Foundation. Free hearing aids were given to persons in need, compliments the Starkey Foundation. Also present at the screening were Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Judy Nisbet, Health Planner Shalissa Martin Clark, and other members of the Starkey Hearing Foundation. Still to come,
you no longer have to go to Puerto Rico and Miami. He can do the necessaries for you right here.
The details after this break. Welcome back. Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley on Sunday, June 17th, congratulated Elvis Starr Maynard on behalf of the Nevis Island Administration on the occasion of the grand opening of Stella's Engineering. As noted by Premier Brantley, Maynard, through the establishment of his mechanical, electrical, and plumbing enterprise, continues to demonstrate what local entrepreneurship looks like.
Starr has been, I believe, a star. Insofar as Nevis is concerned, he has taken his skills, his ability at business, yes, but certainly as an electrician, as a supplier of electrical supplies, and he has brought up a set of youngsters around him, trained them and developed them as well. His skill set is clearly in the area of his electrical engineering and business generally. But he has not been selfish with it. He has sought at every turn to involve young people and to involve others with him. And I believe for that he ought to be celebrated. Mr. Maynard, congratulations to you. Congratulations to your staff. I had to be here this afternoon just to let you know how proud we are of you, how pleased we are that you have made this effort to open this premises right here in this particular area.
Premier Brantley also used the opportunity to urge residents to support local businesses.
Mr. Maynard has invested heavily, but he cannot do it by himself. And I have pledged the government support, but the government alone can't sustain him either. Those of you who have jobs and have business and you need supplies, he has invested and he has provided an avenue for you to get exactly that right here. You no longer have to go to Puerto Rico and Miami. He can do the necessaries for you right here.
Elvis Starr Maynard is the owner and CEO of Stella's Engineering.
All the blessings going out to my mother, but I can't bless my mother without blessing my stepfather, because on the first start of this journey was at the Technical College in St. Kitts. My mother wasn't working, and every Monday morning she had the $25 to give me to catch the boat to go to St. Kitts. So I want to say a special thank you to my stepfather who never murmured. Over the years, it's been, I know there were 7 of us, so it was hard. I mean, with him alone working in the house and having to send me, his stepson, to college, I want to show him, tell him how much I appreciate it very much, and I have told him so over and over again.
The business was officially opened with the ceremonial cutting of the ribbon by the event's honorees, Mr. and Mrs. DeLashley, Maynard's parents. All media houses and members of the press corps are invited to the next press conference, which will be held by Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. The press conference will take place on Monday, June 25th from 9:30 a.m. at the Nevis Island Administration's Cabinet Room on the 2nd floor of the Social Security Building at Pinnis. The Honorable Premier will update citizens, residents, and visitors of the Federation on matters of national interest. The event will be broadcast live on Nevis Television, NTV, Channel 99, and streamed live on nevistvonline.com and Nevis Television's Facebook page. The press will be granted the opportunity to ask questions for the benefit of the listening and viewing audience. That's how we end this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.